How's everybody doing? My name is Alan Roberts. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Today, we're going to go over Annie's 100-pound weight gain story, the real, raw, and ready for a comeback story. So somebody, and by the way, if you guys have ideas for videos that you would like me to do or consider, you can direct message me at either the MFing COO on Twitter or the MFing COO on Instagram. Please feel free to do so. I'm not saying I'm going to make the video if you ask me to make the video, but I'm open to any topics that anybody wants me to discuss, of course, you know. But I am, just so everybody understands, I am rather selective. I even turn down money to not make certain videos on a fairly regular basis. So if I turn down money to not do videos because it's not something I want to talk about, trust me, I'm selective. But I'm looking for your guys' ideas. If you run across anybody that you think could use our help, or somebody that is their audience could use our help to get away from them, please do send right away. But today, I wanted to go over this lady's video. I have not watched this. Somebody just sent it to me this morning, and this is her channel's name is Annie's Comeback. So pretty straightforward there. And I am going to make it so we're looking at it like this. Much better. Okay. We're going to play this at 1.5 speed. I've never even heard her speak, but I'm just going to start at 1.5 speed to see how fast she talks. Because if she talks like Amberlyn Reed or Alexis, whatever her fucking name is, but you know that's because they speak so slow. Real quick though, I don't have an X or Insta, but would you consider? Nope. I wouldn't consider anything that, you know, I just literally, and this is not me being a dick, but I just said, if you have an idea, reach out to me on X or Insta. That's the end of that. Like, if I can't possibly keep track of the 25,000 places people could send me ideas. So if you have an idea, please do feel free to send it to me on X or on Instagram. But that's the end of that. So sorry. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to say, like, I literally just said that. So that's what you're going to do. But let's get to this. I hope this works out well for this one. But anyway, here we go.
This is one of the hardest videos I've ever had to record before, but it's also one of the most important ones. Maybe this is.
She's big. Like no, when the face is that, the skin on the face is that loose, this is a problem. Like, for real.
The wake up call that I needed. I don't know. I told myself if I was going to start this channel, I was going to do it right, and I was going to be 100% raw and 100% real. My weight gain has been the biggest insecurity that I've been personally going through for a decade, but I'm done hiding
it. Should be.
I'm so sick and tired of me kind of like avoiding it. It's time for me to kind of hit it head on. So my weight gain didn't really start overnight. I have been struggling with this my whole entire life, and I'm going to show you guys live pictures and timestamps throughout the years. But I've definitely noticed there's been stages in my life that things have gotten way worse. Growing up as a child, I wasn't necessarily overweight. So I want to consider myself a healthy, like, thick child, if that kind of makes sense. But I was never too skinny, and I was never too overweight. Then going into middle school, I definitely started getting a little bit chubbier. I definitely started seeing like the roundness in my face, but it still wasn't too bad.
Your parents should have involved you in group sports immediately.
Wasn't necessarily like obese or super overweight. When I went into high school, obviously those were like my best years. I looked great.
You're overweight in that picture. You can tell by the face. And I know people are like, she doesn't look overweight. She is. The problem is society has skewed what is and isn't overweight. Like in this picture, that young lady is likely has a waist to height ratio over 0.5, because, you know, nothing says I'm, you know, I feel good about my figure, but like taking a camera angle picture from the ceiling. But she's big. She's overweight already.
Yeah, I would never forget like my freshman, sophomore, junior year. I was the tiniest I think I've ever been. I was very active as well. I was going out a lot with my friends, living life. I mean, who doesn't when they're in high school? So many pictures to show you guys. I didn't really eat healthy per se, but I guess when you're at that age, your metabolism is just a little bit different. And truly, I felt confident. And what's crazy is that I have never in my life been like a skinny girl, right? But even me in high school, the way I looked, I would kind of like judge myself and be like, my body doesn't look the same as my other friends that are super skinny and super fit.
Because you're big.
Like, why do I have such big thighs? Why do I have like a round?
Because you eat too much.
Your face, but I was still confident at the same time, so it wasn't too bad.
You shouldn't have been. I don't know why you would be. Like, if you know you're fat, why are you confident? Do something about it. And I'm not trying to be, I mean, obviously, I don't need to try to be mean, because obviously pretty much everything that flies out of my mouth is considered mean by people, but, you know, it's your fault. Like, you could have done something about it. Like, I didn't look like the rest of my friends, but I still had confidence. Why? You're hurting yourself, right? Like you're eating too much. That's the difference.
That when I left high school, that's when things started getting a little bit crazy. I didn't have such an active routine anymore. I was kind of like getting my first
Morbidly obese in that picture.
job. It was my first sitting down in like a desk job, which was horrible, by the way. You guys will learn from me, and maybe I'll make a whole other episode on that. But my life, I mean, I'm only 32 years old, but I have gone through so many changes.
Damn. I thought I looked older than what I was. Jesus.
Careers that I think I could write a book. I've been to different schools. I've had different jobs. Like when I tell you left field, you know. But one of my first jobs out of high school was definitely a sit down desk, and I'll never forget. I had like a crazy manager that she would always order like takeout, and I guess I was so young and I really wanted to like grow, and I didn't even know what growing was in an actual company, but whatever. I used to like sit down and eat with her every single time, and it got to a point that I think.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you were clearly already morbidly obese, and I don't think you needed the excuse to eat. Now, don't get me wrong, you might have been using it to your advantage, but it's important that if you're going to go on this journey, and by the way, I'll probably follow you along the journey, but if you're going to go along this journey, it's very important you be self-actualized with yourself. You were bigger than your friends because you ate more than your friends, or at least you ate more for your caloric expenditure than your friends. It creeps up a little bit over time, which means you should have been getting on top of it, but you were eating too much. That's what you do to become morbidly obese. Like, this woman here overconsumes calories. This is not a mystery. I mean, for real, I'm not a wizard. I almost just said something fucked up. I'm not a wizard, but that was even like, you guys don't know because you're not up in here, but I'm going to sit the ADHD voice down that just almost made me say something that was super fucked up back in the corner over here. He's just going to sit the fuck down the rest of the goddamn day. He's lost his ability to fucking input with the rest of the fucking group that's up in my head. Sit your fucking punk ass down. But hang on a second. Sorry about that. I'm seeing messages. But let's continue.
I think it was my grandfather that told me, he's like, hey, you know, you're putting on some weight pretty quick ever since you started working at the dealership. Is like, are you okay? Is it hormonal, or are you going through something that we don't know about?
Is it hormonal? You're fucking eating too much. Society's dumb. Hey, you look like you're gaining a lot of weight with that pizza box in your hand. Gotta be your hormones. Shut the fuck up.
And I will never forget that the day that he told me that is when it all clicked. Because obviously, like, if they're paying for my lunch, I'm eating chicken wings one day, burgers the next day. It was never healthy food, you know? So that was weird. And that definitely opened up my appetite. Fast forward to like maybe I was 20, 21 years old. I was definitely getting a little bit fuller. I was getting chunkier. And then I ended up getting
You were already morbidly obese, so fat as fuck, in other words.
pregnant at the young age of 22 years old. Now, this is weird because usually people's stories, like with their first time pregnancy, I've heard different stories, but usually people gain like a whole bunch of weight. It's their first pregnancy or any pregnancy in general. And that actually wasn't my case. My pregnancy journey was also insane. I will definitely talk about that in a whole other episode, but it was insane. Health wise and weight gain wise, I had a pretty good pregnancy. I really didn't even gain weight. I even remember when I got up to my second trimester when I was 6 months, that the doctor would even tell me, he's like, oh, are you having cravings? Because I wasn't gaining weight. I was still a fit girl, but truly I didn't gain weight. When I went to my last trimester, I remember that's when I started picking up some weight. But in reality, I think it was a maximum of like 25 to 30 pounds. It still wasn't anything crazy. So then in 2016 in March, I gave birth to my amazing and beautiful son. And that is when everything went crazy. My goodness, the health issues I had
That's not when everything went crazy. It was already crazy. Like, this is why people fail, right? It was crazy before that. That's the thing. Like, you should understand, it was very crazy before that. You were morbidly obese before that. You know, I mean, it's wild to me that like people, this is when it fell apart. No, it fell apart when you got fat as fuck to begin with. Like, that's where it fell apart, right? And again, like, this is like a very serious thing. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm trying to wake you up to the fact, like, that I've heard, and I know this is fucked up, but I've heard a bunch of cope, like, already in this video. And I understand she's making this video to take accountability, but ma'am, you're gonna, like, if you manage to lose the 150 pounds you likely need to lose, you're gonna look back at this video and be like, holy shit, I was making excuses. Because that's what you're doing, is you're just making excuses after excuse after excuse after excuse. It's fucking wild.
right after giving birth. Number one, I went through this crazy skin disorder that I still suffer from. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it in my other videos on my crafty DIY small business page. If you've really ever noticed, I'm always constantly in long sleeves. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Even though I live in Miami, Florida, where it's insanely hot every single day, but you'll catch me that I'm always in long sleeve shirts. Why? Because I have this skin condition. I'll show you here. I have this skin condition that's called lichen scoliosis, something like that. I don't know. We'll definitely talk about it a different time, but pretty much I have it all in this right arm and it goes all the way to my back shoulder blade, but it's like this discoloration. It feels really dry. Honestly, it just looks really ugly to me. I know it's nothing out of this world and I shouldn't worry about something like this. There's people who have way worse like situations and medical conditions, but you know, as a young girl, I was always like, oh my God, this is so ugly. I can never wear a tank top again. I can never wear this and that again, whatever. So that kind of like.
So, I mean, I honestly, I do try to not, like, I swear to you folks, I try to not be a dick. I try, like, super fucking hard sometimes. Like, sometimes, not all the time. But I try, like, super fucking hard to not be a dick. Like, I try super, super, super hard sometimes. I don't know why. Because even when you try not to be a dick, it gets to be wild. Like, you're worried about skin discoloration, and that's why you don't wear that's why you wear long sleeves. But you're fat as fuck. Like, so if you're worried about the appearance of your skin, wild. Society's delusional.
Like stuck with me, and plus people are weird and they're always staring at my arm, and a lot of people think that I got burned, or they'll ask me questions and I have to explain the whole spiel, and sometimes I just want to avoid doing that. I give birth.
Well, I can understand that's tough, but like if you want to avoid doing that, like your linebacker size, I mean,
to my son, and not only did I have so many skin issues, then that's when the weight started piling on. It was
you were already fat, you were already morbidly obese. And if you start pulling the whole hormonal bullshit, no. I have tons of clients that come to me when they get pregnant. We manage them through their pregnancy, and then we have them lose weight after the pregnancy, even while they are breastfeeding. Like, you're making excuses, like tremendous amount of excuses here.
so abnormal. When I tell you, friends, it wasn't just like, you know, a quick 10, 15 pounds. I was just gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. I gave myself.
Because you were eating. Period. You were eating more and more. Period.
Some grace. I waited those 6 months to see, maybe it's just my hormones. Even my OBGYN told me, he's like, have some patience, give yourself some grace. You know, your hormones have to get back on track. You had a baby at a good age, but still pretty young. So give yourself some.
Yeah, but that does not change the fact that you could eat less. Like, this is a wild thing. Like, people are always like, well, I've got this condition, so eat less. like stating you have a condition, stating you have a slow metabolism makes it even more paramount that you eat very nutritiously with nutrient-dense foods that are devoid of empty calories, such as come with ultra-processed food. Like, if you have some sort of metabolic condition that causes your basal metabolic rate to be slightly slower, because hypothyroidism, hormone problems, those sorts of things, it causes your basal metabolic rate to be slightly lower. It doesn't fall through the floor. Like, there's no fucking way. This woman could eat 1,400 calories or 1,200 calories and lose weight. And for those of you that say 1,200 calories is too fucking low, she can get all of her protein, all of her fats, and some carbohydrates that she needs on 1,200 fucking calories. She just has no other room for other bullshit. But if you have a problem with your basal metabolic rate, you don't have room for bullshit in your life. I'm sorry, if you're on a medication that causes your metabolism to slow, you don't have room for bullshit food. If you have PCOS, hypothyroidism, or any litany of things like that, you don't have room for bullshit in your nutrition. Like, you don't. Like, if you want to remain healthy or get healthy, you are going to very much need to minimize what you eat. Like, you could get 100 grams of protein is 400 calories. 50 grams of fat is another 450 fucking calories or more. You've got some room for some, non-starchy vegetables and shit like that in there. You got plenty of fucking calories. Plenty of calories and plenty of food. As long as you get plenty of nourishment, you've got it. Okay? You're overeating. Like, that's what it is. Like, your doctor, and going to your doctor about weight gain is idiocy. They are not qualified to treat metabolic disorder or weight gain. They are not qualified to. They have no idea where it comes from. They have no nutritional training. They are not qualified to treat metabolic disorder or treat obesity. They're not. And by the way, most general practitioners are the people that prescribe not beta blockers, but prescribe SSRIs and mood stabilizers and shit like that. They're not qualified to be given those prescriptions either. They're not mental health professionals. Most doctors got fucking mental health problems anyway. Fucking crazy.
Grace and just waited out a little bit. That's where I went wrong. I waited it out too much. I delayed it. I should have started checking on myself like literally 6 months after. But the weight just kept on coming on and coming on and coming on. And then I started noticing every time I would weigh myself, it was another 20 pounds, another 10 pounds, another 15 pounds. I gave birth to my son.
How the fuck long are you waiting between weigh-ins?
I will never forget the last appointment in my OBGYN before giving birth to my son. I was weighing 273 pounds. Okay. I know that's a really big number, but
before giving weight to your son, you weighed 273. And then you're saying after your son is when the weight started piling the fuck on? Are you kidding me? You were already 35 pounds overweight. You were already 135 pounds overweight at 270 pounds. This is, I want to help you, Annie, but you got to get out of the delusional phase. Like, that's fat as fuck for a woman, 270 pounds. You got to fucking be realistic with yourself.
But keep in mind, I am 5'8". I'm a pretty tall girl and big build. And
you're 5'8". You're 135 pounds, 140. You do not have the musculature to be even a 5'8" male should likely, like a 5'8" average build male, in order to be healthy, have a healthy waist to height ratio and everything like that. 5'8" should weigh somewhere around 165 pounds. So you're a female, so it'd be less than that. Like, everybody grasps that, right? Like, the what we see in society today, society is all fat, like, pretty much. Like, I weigh about 190. I'm 5'9", and that's because of my bone structure and the muscle load I carry. A normal man, my height, should weigh likely about 165, 170 pounds. A woman that's 5'8", an inch shorter than me, and 270 pounds is at least twice what she should fucking weigh. At least.
I think when I started my pregnancy, I was already like at 240 or 250. I was already gaining weight, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You're 100 pounds overweight.
But that's me with a 9-month baby in me, 273 pounds, right? When I gave birth to Junior, I'll never forget, I dropped immediately. Like, I think I went down to like 260. So like that first 10 pounds or whatever, which I think was just my son in general and his fluid. But then instead of me like continuing to lose weight, I just kept on gaining weight. And I couldn't get out of
because you kept eating.
The 280s. And then I went to 290s. And then
because you were eating. And as you're gaining weight, it doesn't occur to you to eat less?
And he hit the 300 mark. I will never forget. I think when Junior was like 3 years old, this was probably back in 2000.
There's no metabolic issue that's going to cause you to gain. No metabolic issue is going to cause you to be twice your body size. That's your fucking behaviors. That's 100% your behaviors. That's not like. Please, Annie, I'm asking you. Please wake up and realize the problem is you. And it's the food. You and the food. That's the problem. It's nothing else. You are not some fucking mystery.
2019 era, that's when the keto diet got like so famous and so crazy. And I'll never forget, I was already dating Oscar at the time, so we did it together. And I lost a lot of weight with that keto diet. I didn't do it for a long time, but I did it for like, I think 60 days, like 2 or 3 months. And I lost like 40 pounds. And for me, when I do lose weight, it shows immediately. So I remember I was feeling myself so much. I was so happy. Oscar had dropped
what?
So much weight too. Well, you know how men are.
You were feeling yourself. You were huge. You shouldn't be feeling yourself at 270 pounds. You shouldn't be feeling yourself at 200 pounds as a non-athletic woman. You shouldn't. At 5'8", 200 pounds, you're super fucking overweight. Like, for the average activity female, you're 65 pounds overweight at 200 pounds. Reality exists. Get there faster, you know?
or they always drop weight so fast. But I was so happy because I noticed like, wow, this is really working for me. Maybe it is.
And you are also saying that you could eat less calories than what you burn and lose fucking weight. It's you. It's the food. You just proved my point, actually.
Sugar. Maybe this keto diet is something I should do forever. Way easier said than done. It gets to a point that you get a little bit sick and tired of eating so much protein and so much cheese.
Oh, you gonna be okay? You'd rather fucking glutton yourself to 300 pounds than, adult about your food? Oh, no. You wanted something? No, kidding. Nuh-uh.
And high fat avocados, like I was missing just eating something crunchy and stuff, and maybe I didn't educate myself well and I didn't really do the diet how I was supposed to.
So in other words, you fucking started eating more. It's you. It's you. You literally in this statement just said that you can lose weight if you follow a plan that puts you into a caloric deficit. But you want the food. But you want the crunchy stuff and shit like that. It's you. It's you. It didn't just miraculously come on. It's what you're fucking eating.
We kind of just followed YouTube and like I think Instagram posts of keto people, but still I had lost so much weight. Then we stopped doing the keto diet. I started eating carbs again and I blew up pretty quick. Now, since I was like maybe 28 to now I'm 32, I've been yo-yo dieting. I've been trying other different type of programs. I did Weight Watchers. I even did
Why? And I know this. I know what this sounds like. I know this sounds like I'm being horribly mean, but you should not be feeling yourself this much when you're that big. You just shouldn't be. It's dangerous to you. Does everybody understand that? Like, to think that you're fucking fine as fuck, and like she is, like it's dangerous of you to think that way. You should feel bad about how you look. That is your common sense reaching into your fucking brain and saying like, holy fuck, we have fucked this shit up bad. We have fucked this body up bad. We should probably fix this shit as much as we can fix it after totaling the fucking car, basically. So to pretend that you think you look good while in an incredibly self-inflicted morbid state, which is what that is delusional. It's mental illness.
Injections, the Monjoro injections, but unfortunately my insurance plan doesn't cover it, of course, because I'm not diabetic.
So you need to access medication to get yourself to eat less. You need to add to the shared societal burden that fat people already disproportionately burden society with by taking a medication that will make you eat less. Because that's what it is. It's the fucking food.
And by all means, I do feel like those medications, if they're needed for diabetics, it should be given to them first. But, the way that I was gaining weight, like I'm not just a 20-pound heavy girl. I am 100 pounds overweight, so if I keep on going the way I'm going right now, maybe my blood work doesn't say I have diabetes or high cholesterol, but maybe next year I'm a full-on diabetic. So, I tried my hardest with my insurance plan to try to get it approved. And then one day I went
if only you would have tried your hardest with, your actual actions, like what you actually fucking do. If only you would have tried super hard with that.
The pharmacy and they were like, okay, well, if you want to pick it up, I think I was only on it for like 3 months and it was going pretty well for me. But then the pharmacy came up to me and they were like, oh, okay, so do you want to pick up your refill? And I was like, yes, obviously. And I remember the pharmacist looking at me like I was insane. And then she told me it's $1,200. And I was like, what? Who is paying that? I told her I was paying $25 copays. What happened? And she told me ever since January 1st, insurance plans are very strict now. This is only for diabetic patients unless you have that diagnosis. So forget about that. It's not that I can't afford it because technically it's my health and I do, make multiple sources of income. I try my hardest. I hustle everywhere. But sometimes I get kind of like, I don't want to say angry and greedy, but kind of, I'm like, damn, I work so hard to make extra income, to make this a business, to do content creation. Like,
yeah. And you work so hard to take it away from yourself.
Content creation is not for the weak. You're going into this blinded. You're not promised anything. You're not promised a contract. You're not promised to make money on TikTok or promised huge checks from YouTube. I'm actually still in my beginning phases. Maybe I have a huge following in TikTok, but on YouTube, I'm pretty much a newbie, So I'm trying to build this and I'm investing so much money in different things and equipment and mics and long hours. And it's like the little monies that I do get from social media right now, I don't want to just blow it off on like self-paying for this medication. Do I sound crazy?
Yeah, you don't want to blow it off. You'd rather keep spending the massive amount of money on food it would take to feed your ass to stay this size than prioritize anything else. Like you see the issue here. You're spending money to be fat, and then you don't want to spend more money to not be fat. Instead of you could just stop spending the money that makes you fat. Fucking victim mentality. I can't stand this fucking bullshit. Cannot fucking stand this bullshit. I swear. You people fucking suck. You're weak as fuck. All of you. Just fucking weakness. It's pathetic.
Sometimes when I say that out loud, I do feel like I sound crazy, and I feel like maybe I should put my health first and just buy it. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But
No.
So right now,
you should put your health forward and stop eating like a hog. That's what you should do. You've admitted multiple times here that the medication that gets you to eat less makes you lose weight. The diet, the keto diet that gets you to eat less makes you lose weight. You are complaining about not being able to basically eat shit and not get fat. You're not going to lose weight permanently when your mind is like this. I'm just letting you know this. Annie, if I can give you any piece of advice, and I mean any piece of advice, you've got to change your mind frame around this. Like, you're like, this is an open bitch session, but like, it's wrong that they're expecting me to, like, why can't I get shit paid for and lose weight? I mean, it's fucking insane. Literally fucking insane. Give me a second. I gotta make sure my computer's plugged in. There we go.
It's the year of 2025. Today is June 18th, a Wednesday. And as of current day, I am weighing a whopping 314 pounds. And what's really sad is that this is not even the heaviest I've ever been. My heaviest check-in and weigh-in was 323 pounds. And I remember that day I freaked out. Like, I just didn't eat the whole weekend. I was so like crazy because I started thinking I cannot believe I'm even 300 pounds. So for the past couple of years, me getting up to the 300s and kind of like staying there for a while, especially since I turned like 30, I started seeing a difference in myself. Even when I was already starting to gain weight and I was still in like the mid 200s, even though I was already a bigger girl, I was gaining weight, obviously. I always had my makeup done. I always had my hair done. I wouldn't even go to Publix without makeup or hair done because I was always really self-conscious, but in a good way. Like, my self-esteem was still good, and I like to look good.
That's the problem. You think you look good at 315 fucking pounds. You don't. You look like death. You look like you're trying to commit suicide via food. That's the reality. You don't look good. And this is why, and I know this is very controversial, but this is why it's important to make sure that they understand that, hey, love you as a person. You're a great, and I'm not saying I love this person as a person because I have no idea, but the fat people in my life love you as a person, but you don't look good. You're fat. It does not look good. This woman's over twice the size she should. She is literally over twice the weight that she should likely be by quite a bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, quite a bit. She's like probably got to lose like 60% of her body mass in order to be in the healthy range. Thinking you look good at all like that is mental illness. And us saying like, oh yeah, you look great. You look great in that dress. No, she doesn't. Every dress she's shown, she looks like she's wearing a burlap sack. It looks like it's holding a bag of potatoes. It's every one. And that's not mean. That's, you guys know this is true. Right? And you have to realize that us not like helping them see reality that you do not look good when you're 300 plus pounds as a female at all, period. Us not as society, not like letting them know that hurts them and society. Like the population level lying experiment known as political correctness and virtue signaling is killing people. It just is absolutely killing people.
I like the process of putting on makeup. I love the process of curling my hair. It's not like something that I don't.
If you only like the process of not eating like a cow and doing some exercise,
know how to do, and it's something that I enjoy doing. It's kind of like a therapy for me, but I noticed that ever since I turned 30,
you definitely need some fucking therapy, because to think that you look good when you're 315 fucking pounds as a woman is fucking insane. Just saying. Like, you need some fucking therapy because you think you look good. And that's fucking insane.
And I stayed at the 300s. I just stopped wearing makeup. I completely stopped. Like, how you see me now is a miracle of God, because I'm really trying to put my little effort in every single day. But I stopped doing my hair. Like, my hair crazy like this. Yeah, right. My hair would have been like either pinned straight or with waves or curls, like really polished and well done. I just stopped. And one thing I noticed is like I stopped looking at myself in the mirror. That scares me. And I know this sounds crazy, and I'm going to be very forward with all of you. This past 2 years, not only has it affected, obviously, my self-esteem, it's affected my relationship with Oscar, which is my fiance.
I mean, come on. You can't be proud of that in any way. You can't be proud of that.
It's affected, I feel like, even the way that I show up as a mom. I know this
Of
sounds
course
so
it
cliche,
is.
but I've always wanted and I've always pictured myself being a mom that was, always put together, always participating in her son's school. I want my son to have that experience. I had that growing up. My mother and my grandmother were always put together, very nice. And I still remember that. Like, I'm going to my school and my teachers and my friends saying, "Oh, your mom is so pretty, your grandma's so nice." And you know, that's getting to me. Always, with every opportunity, I am always in my son's school, right? Because I love to participate. I do a whole bunch of arts and craft projects for them. But
Why is your son fat already?
also nice. And you know, that's getting to me. Always, with every opportunity, I am always in my son's school, right?
Your son's looking pudgy already. He's got a belly on him. You're abusing your kid because you don't think you're that bad. You're abusing your kid. That kid is fat. That's unacceptable. Unfucking acceptable. If your kid is fat and you're not doing everything you can to change it, it's unfucking acceptable. That's abuse. You're abusing your kid. You are.
Right? Because I love to participate. I do a whole bunch of arts and craft projects for them. But
Yes, it's all about you. All of this shit's all about her. Does everybody realize? I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but if you sit back and listen to this woman, this is all about, like, she wants to eat something crunchy. That's why she has to keep weight on. So you're basically saying that that eating something crunchy is worth more to you than, being able to participate actively in your child's life and be there for them when they get older. You're a bad parent. If nobody else will tell you, I'll tell you. Like, your kid's already getting fat. You're fat as fuck. And you're making every excuse in the book for not adulting and watching your fucking calories. That's exactly what you're doing.
I started noticing, like, I would still go and participate, but I look like crap. My hair was always like messy like this or in a bun. I wouldn't put makeup on. I would just show up, and sometimes people look at me, and I'm sorry to say it, people do treat you different with the way you carry yourself and the way you look, because I've truly experienced that hands-on. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a little crazy story about me and Oscar going to a very bougie store in Saks Fifth Avenue. This happened last year. I remember I was celebrating my 100K followers on TikTok, and I told Oscar, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself and I'm gonna buy myself a nice little bag, right? I think I deserve it. I burned myself, with TikTok, posting TikToks, editing. I'm a one-woman show. Nobody helps me. It's all me. Again, last year I was still feeling the way I am now. And I remember I didn't put makeup on. I kind of had my hair like this. Another bad thing about my weight gain is I kind of stopped buying clothes. Doesn't that sound crazy? Like, I live in sweatpants. I don't buy new jeans. I don't buy, because I can't believe the sizes that I'm buying. It messes with me, depresses me every time that I go shopping. So whatever. So
Not that bad. You're just ignoring it. You're just ignoring all your issues. You're trying to pretend it's not you. You're just ignoring it. It's fucking pathetic. Like, truly fucking pathetic.
my normal outfit is like this sporty leisure wear that's kind of comfortable, and sweatpants, sweatsuits, things like that. So I kind of went into Saks Fifth Avenue with a nice pair of sweatpants and like a long sleeve crafty shirt. I will never forget, the first store I went into was Christian Dior, right? Because I was thinking of getting just like a tote bag or something like that. And they're expensive over there. And I remember I walk in and none of the sales reps talk to me. Okay. That store, I went on a weekday. There was nobody else there. It was just me and another woman that looked, of course, like head to toe with like brands on and stuff. And they were helping her. But when I walked in, I never even got a hello, a welcome. Nobody came up to me to ask if I needed help with anything. And if you've ever been to like one of these big brand stores, they always do that, because pretty much like their sales are like their commission. I think Oscar started noticing too that nobody was like going up to me. I even remember me touching a bag that was on display and like looking at the price tag, like preparing myself. I was going to buy it, And I will never forget that still nobody would go up to me. I got so offended because another woman walks into the store. This is the third woman, and they were like, "Hello, welcome. Let me help you, ma'am." Again, she had like.
So you're allowed to be offended, but you're allowed to be offended because these people were choosing other people that looked like they could buy stuff versus you. I understand where you're coming from with it, but it's wild to me how you think you should be treated like everybody else when you're morbidly obese. Like, you overconsume our shared resources, both healthcare and food. These people, like, I'm sorry, but like, if you're morbidly obese, demanding societal respect is delusional. You don't deserve it. You disproportionately burden society. Like, I would like to help you get to the point where you deserve societal respect by doing the very basic fucking minimum to not be a burden upon all of us, by not, making every excuse in the book to eat enough to keep you fat as fuck. But it's understandable when a morbidly obese person walks into a store, how maybe people are going to judge you based on how you look, because how you look is representative of how you treat yourself and how you treat society. You treat yourself like shit. You treat yourself horribly. You are addicted to food. Without a doubt. You're over 300 pounds as a woman. We can even put that argument to bed. You're addicted to fucking food. There's a food, I guarantee. It's probably sweets, but there's a food that this fucking woman has a hard time saying no to. But expecting society to show you out and out respect when you disrespect it daily by your lifestyle choices that disproportionately burden all of us, as well as harm you and make it so you can be basically an incomplete parent, passing on your poor habits down to your already fat child. I wish I could have had a better, more positive experience watching this woman's video, and I will be doing follow-ups. I'm going to get ready to do my next video here, but I can tell you this very clearly, young lady. You're the problem, not society, not the people that didn't want to wait on you because you were fat. You're the problem. You have admitted that you could lose weight. You know you can. It's just not super easy for you, and you'd rather complain about it than take care of it so you can, get healthy for your child and pass on healthier habits to your child, which you're already fattening up. Annie, I promise you, your face and name has been in a title and thumbnail of mine. If you need help, I will help you. I will not lie to you, though, and this is a you problem because you, in fact, are the fucking problem. Get there faster. All right, folks, a little bit of Q&A. And by the way, if any of you are looking for coaching, here is where you can get our coaching links. Well, here's where you can get our links. This is 3 and 6 months. Also, you can get Pure Blood and the GLP-1 booster stack from No Morbidity. Boom, right there. And I will take any Q&A we got for about 5 minutes. Morbidly obese in sweatpants with messy hair, no makeup, in sacks. What was she expecting? It's totally ridiculous. Like completely next level ridiculous. I hate putting on makeup and my hairstyle. This is funny. I hate putting on makeup. My hairstyle is always up because I work with food. I would rather be out in nature and be in my garden with dogs. No shit. So listen, folks, I am going to pop off here and I'll be right back in about 5 minutes with the next video. I hope to see you all then. God damn.
Are you fit and fat? I was fit and fat. In fact, at the most athletic of my life, I was playing football, I was running fast, I was doing it all. I was fat. And we all know that being fat is not healthy, no matter how fit you might be. Now, I had to learn a lot of things to get rid of that fat, but I also wanted to keep it fit. And one thing is, I need to make sure I slept good. I need to make sure I controlled my appetite. I need to make sure I controlled my blood sugar. At the Ambrosia Collective, we've actually come out with a stack of products called the Holy Trinity Stack. And the Holy Trinity Stack has 3 things to help you do that. Now, number 1 is you need energy and motivation to go to the gym, to get it done, to burn those extra calories. For that, we have Ember. Also, you need to control your blood sugar and make sure your body utilizes the nutrients you eat to help your body burn more fat and build more muscle. For that, we have Alchemy and CT. And the final piece, and this is probably my favorite piece, is No Morbidity. No Morbidity not only helps to control your appetite, but also helps to control your stress. And it even helps you burn more calories while you sleep. So if you're looking to get all the traits that I got to go from being a 300-pound monster to being what I am now, which is lean and in the best shape of my life, the Holy Trinity Stack is for you.